The USC Trojans just got sucker punched. Let's talk about it. My name's Paul, and together with my buddy Aaron, we are the Big Ten guys. Tune in daily for news, insights, analysis, anything you could ever want Big Ten. This is the channel for you. So please just take a quick second, hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, get those notifications on. We got a lot more Big Ten and USC content coming. So, USC just got sucker punched. They're just trying to enjoy Big Ten media days, get ready for the regular season, and down from the top rope comes Paul Finebomb, notorious Big Ten hater. USC fans, I don't know what it was like for you in the Pac-12, but if you're in the Big Ten, you got to expect at least once a year Paul Finebomb is going to come out of nowhere and just trash your program for no reason. And today, his target was Lincoln Riley. So let's look at what he said. So he says, I want to hear Lincoln Riley explain his last 2 years because I can't think of anybody whose coaching has been more fraudulent. Yikes. Then he goes on to say, frankly, I believe Sooner Nation is better off today than it would have been had he stayed around. So first off, I don't know that he watched a single Oklahoma game last year. That team stinks. They went 6-7, I think. They have been a complete nightmare since Lincoln Riley left. So I don't know what Oklahoma teams he is watching, but I certainly wouldn't say they're any better. And Feinbaum goes on to say, I can't think of a coach in modern time who's been more underwhelming and has been making the kind of money he's been making while doing less. Now, I know USC fans have been starting to hate on Lincoln Riley a little bit. And I get it. Like, when you brought him here and paid him the money that he commands, you wanted to see a team that's immediately contending for the playoffs. And I get that. And, his first year at USC, I believe he won 11 games, went to the Cotton Bowl, I want to say. And yes, he had Caleb Williams, and that was a big part of it. If you've never caught the show, I'm a Bears fan, so I love Caleb Williams. Dude's a dog. I think he's going to be much better this year. And yeah, Lincoln Riley, once Caleb Williams, I guess he had a second year of Caleb Williams that wasn't as good as the first one. But I think if you look at what the USC program was doing before he got there, you have to have a little more patience with what is happening right now. Before I dive into that, USC fans, let's hear from you in the comment. Have you soured on Lincoln Riley? Do you think we need to give him more time? Just send some hate towards Paul Feinbaum. That's part of being in the Big Ten, is just wondering why the heck Paul Feinbaum hates your team so much. But let's dive into what the USC program was like before Lincoln Riley was there. So, they honestly, since Pete Carroll left, they have had some rough times. They had a couple good seasons here and there under Lane Kiffin and Clay Helton, like some 9-10 win seasons. But when Clay Helton left, this team stunk. I think they won 4 games in his last season. And if you look at their recruiting class here, they were number 64 in the country. I mean, that, I'm not going to pull up the rankings, but it's like Rutgers territory. That's like Stanford territory. That's not where you want to be. And if you look more at some of these recruits, they had 2 4-stars. And so this was 2020. These were your seniors last year. And I know Lincoln Riley has hit the portal hard. He's brought in some good players. He came with Jordan Addison and Caleb Williams and was able to have that immediate success. But the foundation of this team were some pretty poor recruiting classes. I believe the year before, they were like in the 20s or something, just some pretty unimpressive recruiting classes. But then Lincoln Riley gets there, and immediately you see a big change. We'll go to 2022. Number 6 recruiting. 2023, they were number 7 recruiting. You start seeing some consistent top 10 recruiting classes. Have they developed as well as you'd like to see? No. I mean, if you're getting consistent top 10 recruiting classes, you would like to see consistent top 10 teams. You'd like to not see some of your top recruits like Zachariah Branch end up transferring. But I think a little slack needs to be given to Lincoln Riley because he moved to a new conference. Like, the Big Ten is a different animal than the Pac-12. Especially because, I don't want to get into a big Big Ten versus Pac-12 debate here. But the best teams from the Pac-12 came to the Big Ten. So not only are you still playing Oregon and Washington and UCLA, but now you have added Michigan and Ohio State and Penn State. And, I mean, it's just a gauntlet of a schedule in the Big Ten. And so I think you saw a slightly improved USC team, but they had a much harder schedule, and you're just not seeing the results quite yet. If you look at their schedule this year, it's another gauntlet, if we're being honest. I think USC, once again, is going to be better. I like Maava at QB. I think he is going to be the best QB they've had since Caleb Williams. Looking through, it should be just a no-problem 4-0 start. But if you've caught any of our other videos, we're pretty high on Illinois and Nebraska. Now, I'm a Michigan fan. I'll be the first one to tell you, Michigan might be the easiest game in this 4-game stretch, considering it's going to be in Southern Cal. Like, this 4-game stretch is a gauntlet. If you can beat Michigan and sneak out one of these games against what should be a tough Illinois and Nebraska team and be sitting here 6-2 heading into your last 4, consider that to be a fantastic season for USC. Iowa, Northwestern for sure should be an easy win. Iowa's never easy, but you get them at home. UCLA, I like USC to beat them. Oregon, I mean, I think Oregon reloaded and will be good. That's going to be a tough game on the road, but I don't expect USC to be a playoff contender this year with this schedule. And that's 2 probably top 10 teams on the road. I really think Illinois and Nebraska will probably be top 20 teams this year. Those are also on the road. Michigan's always a tough game. That is a brutal schedule. But things are looking up in Southern Cal, and I think it is way too early to be out on Lincoln Riley. If you watched our first USC video, I'm not going to do a deep dive into it. I just encourage you to watch our last USC video. They got the number 1 class in the country. They have brought in some absolute studs. They've just completely torn it up in the trenches. This team is being built to win in the Big Ten now. And I think you just got to show some patience with Lincoln Riley. You're not going to do yourselves any good paying, I think I heard it's like an $80 million buyout, and bringing in a new coach who's probably going to lose a lot of this number 1 recruiting class and may not be able to bring guys in like Lincoln Riley. But I think it's too early to be out on him. Let's hear what you think, USC fans. Love to hear from you in the comments. But please take just a second on your way out. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that like button. And we will see you with some more USC content later.